In this section, we want to see how we can apply the concept of price elasticity of demand to product pricing decisions. Within your own portfolio of products, you will find products with inelastic demand and other products with elastic demand. For example, essential products or products that are not sold by the competition could have an inelastic demand, while products that are readily available everywhere without any differentiation would be very elastic. This could be useful to identify while you are going through a period where you need to raise your prices. Instead of putting a blanket 10% increase on everything, better analyze your product portfolio and identify items that are inelastic and raise them by a higher percentage and lower the increase on highly elastic items so that you don't lose their demand to the competition. This could also be useful if you were faced with the decision of, shall we increase our prices to increase our revenue? The answer will depend on the price elasticity of demand of your product portfolio. If it is inelastic, then price increase will raise revenue and of course profits. If it's unitary, then price increase will be met by decreasing quantity sold by the same extent, so you won't get any higher revenue. If it's elastic, then the price increase will reduce demand by a higher extent than the price increase, and you will actually lose revenue. Finally, understanding price elasticity of demand can also help you make better forecasts for your markdowns or discount events, as you will be able to predict the different price points and how much inventory will be cleared at those prices. Companies that have no power are called price takers. That is, they have to take the market price and sell at this price. They have no power over setting their prices. To examine this concept further, we need to look at two extremes when it comes to types of companies: perfect competition and monopolies. They both lie at the very end of the competition spectrum, where companies in perfect competition are selling identical products with no differentiation whatsoever, and so they are price takers, because they have no power. If they try to raise their price, customers will rush to the competitor or to a new player with lower prices, and they will lose the market share. Whenever any industry is born and proves to have high profit margins, new entrants find it attractive because of the margin, and they keep flocking to the industry to get a share of that profit. Every new entrant comes and tries to cut down the price to take some market share, until at the very end the profit of the industry is driven down to almost zero. At this point, some players quit and close the business, and others choose to survive until the weaker ones exit and they can raise the prices again. On the other end of the spectrum comes the monopoly. A monopoly is a company that sells a product that have no substitutes, and it's the only seller in the market. Since it's the only seller in the market, it can charge any price it wants. But how do monopolies achieve such power? And why isn't anyone entering the market to compete with them? That's because of barriers to entry. Such barriers could be in the form of regulation, very high capital investment to start the business, control over a scarce physical resource, patents and trademarks, or intimidating behavior such as predatory pricing. When these barriers are enacted, they prevent others from entering the market and a monopoly is formed. The vast majority of companies fall in between those two extremes, where they are considered to be in an imperfectly competitive market. This imperfectly competitive market includes monopolistic competition, where a large number of companies are competing but their products are not identical, and this is the case for most retail companies. The other type is oligopolistic, where there are a few companies dominating a certain market. As you could see, a perfect competition is a bad situation to be in as a brand or a company. It will make you a price taker and over time will drive down the profits to zero. So in order for a company to survive and have more power in the market, it needs a differentiation. This is what Warren Buffett calls economic moat. It's competitive advantage in the market that drives people to prefer it over the competition, and hence it gives it a power over its pricing. This could be in the form of product differentiation, for example, higher quality materials, better styles, new technology that you have patented, or strong brand identity that you have built and people have come to trust and like. Such differentiation acts as a barrier to competition and protection for your profit margins as long as it continues to be a differentiating factor. So it's important while setting up your strategy to be able to identify what could be your competitive advantage in the market and build your brand around such competitive advantage, and use this to communicate it to consumers through your branding and positioning. This brings us to the end of this course on economics. Thank you very much, and see you next time.